come my For You page is all of us acting like a damn fool over some food stamps?
Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November?
Every trending clip is of a black woman flashing her EBT card, going into full breakdown mode. Are we the face of the welfare narrative, or are we choosing to be? Let's unpack this.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey guys, and welcome back. And apparently we all gonna be hungry. Okay, November 1st, we are gonna be hungry. Apparently, we're also gonna be looting the grocery stores. Listen, I'm actually for it. Unpopular opinion, don't care. I will be there too, grabbing my stuff out the grocery stores. Yup, I will join the degeneracy because if you haven't heard, it looks like the government shutdown is affecting the food stamps as of November 1st.
States are warning struggling Americans who rely on food stamps to pay for groceries that they may miss out on benefits come November.
That is a major problem, but you know what? That's not my issue, okay? The government is going to do government shit. My issue is that, once again, my community just embarrasses me. Just my fellow black women out there, they just love making it hard for me and you, me and people like you, right? People that try to promote themselves in a respectable manner and not aid to every stereotype that is out there. So we have a spiral effect on social media of the people who are talking about their food stamp and EBT woes, and unfortunately the majority of them are all black women.
It's the fact that Trump think he doing something by not giving food stamps next month, like bitches don't have purses and bags. Bitch, we're gonna eat, and we're gonna eat good on your dime, ho.
Somehow black women got the message, like I don't know, I missed the text that, when you wake up on this week that you have to brush your teeth, open up your phone, and then talk about your food stamps and how it's just such a problem that they're going to be cut off. And listen, yes, that is going to be a problem if they're cut off. I don't want any child, old person, or disabled to go hungry. If you are just a single adult, I kind of don't care about you. Best of luck. But why do we feel the need that we just need to aid and perpetuate every negative stereotype about us? Once again, we always have the stereotype of welfare queen, and we just opened our phones, recorded ourselves on TikTok, and said, yeah, we're the welfare queens. You think that's funny? You really think that's funny? You're an asshole. You're an asshole for perpetuating that stereotype, and that we collectively as a group, just thought it was a great idea to talk about food stamps and how we are so dependent and reliant on them.
You mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November? Cause I'm getting my goddamn. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm getting mine. Cause I'm gonna tell you just like this on Jesus Lamar mother Christ. I will be at mother Walmart with my steel toes on.
Trump cutting off food stamps right before Thanksgiving, bad and all, but my people ran out of stores. With the cart full, I bet it's gonna be some turkey on my plate.
Text that the link is definitely cut the off for November. Y'all better stay the out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you won't start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card, as soon as that ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the out.
Now we all know the stereotypes that plague us, that follow us through the decades. The welfare queen myth.
It's food stamps. Get so much money from the government. I just throw it away.
The lazy and ghetto. And listen, I will be disingenuous if I said that we don't know some of those people, okay? That we don't know some black women out there from certain neighborhoods that where that stereotype comes from. You see what I'm saying? However, the average me and you, I know that's not us. And listen, whether you use food stamps or not, that's really not my issue per se in this video. My issue is that I see us perpetuating this stereotype and just feeding the race mongering trolls online and aiding to this. So when we as Black women go on social media and talk about how all of us are using food stamps, it's kind of one of those things like, well, maybe you should keep that to yourself. Because I have to be honest with you, I see more videos from Black women about food stamps than I do white women. And I know that there's the same number of white women and more on food stamps. So where are they at? How am I seeing just us?
Apparently, they shut down November and December food stamp. I just got a note from them saying they gonna shut my food stamps. Ohio, you bet not. You better not feed in that allegation. You better pay me my food stamps. I better get my food stamps. Let me not get no food stamps November and December. Free me. Get my commissary out, because I'm taking up the stove and taking everything.
Now, for the numbers, okay, in simplest terms, we know that there are more white people on SNAP benefits than there are of Black, Hispanics, and other races. And we like to take that fact and run with it because it's true. Those are the raw numbers. However, we can get a little disingenuous when you break down the numbers a little bit, and we need to be really well informed about this before we, start snapping back at people when they want to come for us in our community. So this is the most recent report from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Among all participants in the program, 35% identified as white, 26% identified as African American, and 16% Latino. And then you have about 17% that says their race is unknown, and that's a pretty big percentage as far as, where do they fall? I guess we can just say they're mixed race people. I don't know, or they're just people that just didn't want to disclose their race. So when you look at those hard numbers, right, we look at it and go, oh, well, see, it's more white people on SNAP benefits than it is, the brown people. Yeah, but, it is more of them, guys. And so it would make sense that there's more of them on it. So to break it down in numbers to make it a little easier, 1 in 5 participants will be Black or Hispanic, versus 1 in 10 white. So technically there are more brown people in regards to our percentage wise on SNAP benefits. And let's not forget, the report highlights that 39% of the SNAP participants are children, okay? The kids, 20% are older adults, old people, and 10% are disabled people. So it's really not just lazy ass, ghetto people just trying to get some free food, because over 55% of the households that had children reported earned income. So that means that they were using SNAP benefits to fill in and supplement their income to make ends meet. They got a job. They are working. It's just rough out here in the streets, okay? So I say all that to say is that it is important that we understand this so we don't make ourselves the face of food stamps. We don't want to be the face of that, because if you look at the numbers, we technically shouldn't be the face of that, because it's really for the kids, it's for older people, and it's for the disabled. Solutions, I cannot leave a culture check without solutions. And the first thing I want people to do is to, before you post something of yourself or, on social media, ask yourself, does this hurt or help my community? Is this a good look for my people? Is this a good look for me? Is this a good look for my daughter or my future children? Am I helping or hurting? I think it's safe to say that posting your EBT meltdown over and over and over again, and it's majority of us doing it, is not helping our community. It's making the stigma fall harder on us. Also, I want people to promote alternative content when it comes to this. So I will never sit here and tell you that we shouldn't share on social media the trials and tribulations that we share as a community, as Americans. Financially, it's really hard out here in these streets. We already know that. And so when the government can't govern and do its damn job, and then we get affected. We should be able to share that on social media, but instead of it coming from my EBT, oh no, how my kids gonna eat the crab legs, instead of saying that, how about we come from a stance of like resilience, right? Of us trying to strategize. So if you are a mom who rely heavily on food stamps and you're like, oh my gosh, they're about to get cut off, how about you post a story on how you're preparing for it? Are you looking for an extra job or something like that? Something that shows an alternative message instead of just complaining and talking about how we're going to loot the stores, even though I kind of like that idea. I really do. Yeah. But instead of doing that, we show resilience, we show hard work, and we show determination to care for ourselves and our children and say, listen, we're going to eat regardless and we'll be okay, Uncle Sam, or we can just loot the stores. I don't know. Just overall, image is power. It really is. And I will never stop talking about our imagery and how we need to protect it. If we are going to show up in public and show up on social media, we are going to do it on our terms. So comment down below if the EBT meltdown trend is helping or hurting our image. You know what I think. And are you going to be, or could you possibly be affected by, the government shutdown and the SNAP benefits not renewing at the beginning of the month? That is a huge issue. I mean, listen, these kids will go hungry. These old people will go hungry. I don't want that. Like, hunger is a real thing. So we can do what we can do. Volunteer at a food bank, drop off some groceries at a food bank. I mean, I know the cost of groceries is kind of like, Jesus, I got to buy groceries for myself and now for these kids too. Oh God. But we got to do what we got to do as a community, because obviously the top dogs have failed us. So we have to do what we got to do down here. And if you haven't watched my last video, I talk about Cardi B and her degeneracy and how she gets on my nerves. Please check that video out. It's coming up right now.